Good morning, YouTube and the internets. Well, I just had an amazing weekend at the Mount Morgan hill sprint or hill climb or whatever you want to call it. Cut to the chase. If you watched the last video, you'll know I came first in class with a 1 minute 53. The car had more in it. I didn't. After 3 and a bit years out of the car competitively, I definitely have lost a lot of the feeling in the car. And you'll see that if you watch this whole video, because this is going to be all the runs, all 6 passes. And yeah, it's you can tell that early I'm really struggling. The times tumble pretty quickly, some terrible driving. And the last run I was reasonably happy with. What certainly wasn't perfect. I see that footage, I can see 4 seconds still on the table. But considering I had been out of the car for so long, and I've never driven that piece of road at anger. Obviously I found it once randomly. There's a very old video of mine where I said this should be a hill climb, and then 6 months later they announced a hill climb. And I'd like to take credit for it, but no, it had been in planning for quite some time apparently, so I didn't initiate it, unfortunately. But also, the dude who came second in the class, he watches the channel. He's got a V35 stripped out and turboed. Unfortunately, his car sort of didn't quite make it to the end. He wound the boost up a bit trying to chase me. So Cameron, if you're watching, hopefully you get it sorted soon, and see you on the track at the next event. And you can keep chasing me, mate. I'm not going to let you beat me, but you can keep chasing me. But yeah, it was good to meet you. Yeah, I won't ramble on too much. I'll start chucking the footage in, and I might have a quick snippet between each run, explain what happened, why I was so awful. I still had fuel surge problems. You'll see that in the video. So how about we just go to the video and yeah, start with the first run now. of fuel surge, bit of misfire, but should be right. So, as you can see there, I clearly had no idea where I was going at any point in time. I don't think I had the right gear for 80% of it. I'd never launched it before, the R32, so I didn't know how it would go off the line. It was awful. It was very slow too. It was a 207 or something like that. I would have put it on the screen in the video. So that was on the Nankang AR1s, cold. Yeah, just, it was terrible driving all around. But sort of to be expected, since I had no idea where I was going, or what the car would do. Second run is a little bit better. Let's go to that. So yeah, that was it for day one. Day one. We only got 2 runs in all day. Yeah, which was disappointing, and everyone was disappointed with that, but including the event organisers. They sorted that out for day 2. We got 4 passes in substantially less time, so I won't complain about that. I got the 6 runs I was hoping to get over the course of the weekend, just the wrong way around. I thought it'd be 4 on day 1 and 2 on day 2, or 3 and 3. But either way, again, super slow, still over 2 minutes, and pretty disappointed in myself at that point of the weekend. But of soul searching overnight, and I was like the 10th to 15th car off the line in the morning, so we knew we'd be sweeping the road. Despite that, I decided to bolt on the 050s semi-slick, because I thought I'd only get potentially 2 runs on the second day, so I wanted to make sure that on my second run I had the tyre pressures correct, and could actually have a bit of a crack. There was a bit of a mix up with classes and things. I was in the wrong class pretty much all day. I'd been changed classes 3 times before it was right, but overnight they sort of got it all figured out and sorted out as well. So in the morning when I looked, everything was fixed and we were good to go. So yeah, his run 3, 7:30 in the morning on Sunday. So fuel surge, eh? It's a hell of a thing. The previous day it made sense. I had a quarter of a tank and then half a tank for my second run, which is why I only had it sort of in one spot on the second run. And I put another 10 litres in it before running those tyres in the morning, but it was awful, obviously, as you can see. So just all that extra lateral G-force from the additional grip, or just from driving faster, made it almost undrivable. So I wasn't messing around. For the next run I put pretty much 3/4 of a tank in it to try and stop the fuel surge. But yeah, it went faster, and that, with the classes sorted, had me second in class. So I still, I think, 2 seconds off what I needed to win, but you can see there's plenty of time there to be gained, just with no fuel cut, let alone the driving. I was still in the wrong gear half the run and that. But yeah, I was thinking the next run was probably going to be my last, just based on timing. We might get one more at that point, but I'm like, well, I can't rely on that. You know, someone crashes and there's a delay or whatever, we definitely won't get the third. So the next run was the run that I was going to push hard. So nearly killed myself in the last corner. I was looking at that barrier on the way in and the back stepped out, and then I was looking at the wall on the inside. Yeah, certainly got the heart rate going and put the fear of mortality into me for a minute there. But yeah, collected it all up. It was all right. No fuel surge that time. It's amazing what 3/4 of a tank or more will do. But yeah, I at least started to feel comfortable with the car to be able to start pushing. You see I'm a bit more on edge, even though I'm in the wrong gear again and still don't know where I'm going. I'm feeling like I can get the car loose and be comfortable with it. I was still being very cautious in the very first section. There's not a lot of time to be gained up to the first sort of tight left-hander, which was the original circuit. Just sort of started at that tight left-hander, or you run up to that tight left-hander for the first corner. But yeah, we had one more run scheduled. That gave me the class lead, but only just. So I knew I had to do a better run, so I made a mental decision to actually try and drive a bit smoother and a bit more conservatively on the next run. And that might have been governed by the fact that I had the big moment on the last corner in the run before. Either way, you'll see it now and you'll see the result. So that run looked a lot smoother, and it was. It's probably the best run I had for gearing as far as being in the right gear at the right time. Definitely wasn't perfect. It was only a tenth faster than the previous run with that moment in the last corner. So I was thinking that was it, but while we're up there waiting to roll back down, we got told we were going to get another run. And I started theorising and hypothesising and trying to figure out, okay, well, where's the time and what am I going to do, and can I do a 153? because that was my target for that previous run. Based on the advances I'd made, you know, at that point, I thought, well, I can keep making time, taking seconds out each run. That actually felt like a pretty good run, but, well, if you've seen the other video, you'll know what I did in the last run, which will be up next. But I had a million things going through my mind rolling up to the line. Just 1,000 things. And just before I got to the start line, I thought, stop overthinking it, just drive the car. Just drive the car. You're starting to get comfortable in the car, you don't know the circuit, don't worry about it, just drive the car. And yeah, here's my last and fastest run. Got to be my best time. So yeah, that was the best run, and comfortably first in class, 16th outright. Like sort of, I reckon the car's got a sub 150 in it. It's just down to me extracting it, which I didn't do. Sort of a little bit disappointed I couldn't do it. Also, just sort of realising just how much out of touch with the car you get with 3 and a bit years out of the car. But yeah, hell of a weekend. It was thoroughly enjoyable. And despite the fact that when I watch that footage I see 4 seconds on the table, I was still pretty happy with the result in the end. Now the winner outright was Dylan Cothill. He runs Skid Control here in Brisbane. If you're looking for driver training or just cool events and stuff like that, they run those. He did it in that R35 GTR. It was a 145, I think, which is just obscene. How quick that thing is. Hell of a steerer, good bloke. And yeah, so you know, I was sort of cruising with them for the event. Trent Laves in a stock BMW 130 did a 156, 155, something like that. He was actually beating me for most of the weekend, and that was one of the targets I had, to make sure that he didn't beat me in a stock bloody road car like that. Good steer, had been to the event before though, so and also did some corporate runs on the first day, so he had 3 or 4 runs before I had my first one, so knew the circuit pretty well by the end of the weekend, obviously. But yeah, still drove the wheels off that little Beamer. It's his wife's race car, because his wasn't ready in time. But yeah, great weekend, amazing piece of road, brilliant event in the end, and I can't wait to get back in the car. Obviously I need to get that fuel surge issue sorted out. Surge tanks way at the top of the list. I'm just going to check my roster. Currently the border's closed to South Australia, so I can't actually leave to go back to work. So I'll be working out of Brisbane for the next couple of days at least. We're expecting the borders to open by the end of the week. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And then when that happens, then I'll know what my swings look like, and then I'll know if there's an event, or if there's no event that I think is worthwhile doing. At the end of the next swing, I'll get the car in for a surge tank. I don't think I'll worry about the tune at the moment. I will turn it up, but I'm not actually too phased by the 380 wheel horsepower at the moment, as far as the pace the car's got. I have built that engine to take 30 pound and make 600 odd horsepower, and run at like 550 reliably, but we'll see what I decide to do. But for now, yeah, just enjoy the victory lap down the hill, following Dylan. Go check out their channel, it's Skid Happens. It's been a while, but I'm sure they'll be posting the onboard footage of his fastest run. I've got it. And I got a copy of one of the other guys' fastest runs too, but I won't be putting it up here because it's their footage. I'll let them put it up and get their views. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Fuck, I'm gonna overheat it sitting here. Take it over. Not a real Skyline, bro. This one is.
Good answer.
You right? And that's it.